Thank you very much for joining us here at Super Families with Sue. My name is Sue Karoga. And so I start by sharing a quote. A little time spent teaching kids to pick up their toys now will save you a lot of time later, picking up after them and shouting at them to pick up their stuff. That indeed is in line with what Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6 says, that train up a child in the way they should go, and when they grow up old, they will not deviate from it. In my village, they say that children grow up as fast as sweet potatoes. Train them while you have them. Welcome. Welcome back. I'm just really excited about what God is doing, and thank you all who have subscribed to this channel. And I just pray, even those of you who have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing, like and share, so that we can be able to reach as many people as possible. And now today we start on a somewhat new topic, although I have actually highlighted it in our past video. Where I was discussing the most important aspects that should be found in a child's daily routine. And I was using this chart here where we discussed the most important aspects. And one of the most important aspects we saw is this one here at the top, which is called personal duties or personal responsibility. And here we are basically talking about chores, the house chores. And we are saying that one of the things that a child needs to engage in on a daily basis is their house chores. And here we are talking about things like cooking, things like washing up, doing laundry, and things like those. That's what we are discussing. And we are saying in your child's daily routine, then they should have those personal duties or those personal responsibilities. And you know, some parents have felt that they were raised in, a difficult way. Perhaps they did a lot of work when they were growing up. And so they begin to feel that, okay, for me, I want my children to enjoy, to have an easy time. I want them to enjoy. And so I am not going to have them do their house chores or, their responsibilities. And in doing that, you really disadvantage your children, because house chores are very important for our children. And I want to discuss just a few reasons why it's very important that on a daily basis our children are having or are doing house chores. And the first thing is that when our children are doing their house chores, we are teaching them skills for everyday life, and that's very important, so that when they grow up, they will be able to be independent, they will be able to move out and live their lives and actually be able to have a good life, not just barely making through. So if we help and we teach our children to do their chores, then eventually they will be able to have independent lives and take care of themselves. They'll be able to cook for themselves, they'll be able to clean up, they'll be able to do their own laundry. Now, if you fail to teach them that when they are with you, when you are raising them up, then it means that they will not be able to move out. They will live their lives totally dependent on you. And that's not a good thing, because that's not how life was supposed to be. We were supposed to raise our children only up to the point when they are able to take care of themselves, and then they move out and they go and start their own families and they continue with their own lives. And so the first thing is that when we help our kids, we teach them to do their house chores, then we are helping them to gain skills for everyday life. The other thing that is very important that we teach our children when they are doing their skills is responsibility. They learn to be responsible, take the responsibility over their own lives. For example, why are you washing the dishes? Because you also want to eat. So if you are going to be eating, you are going to be either using a plate, you are going to be using a cup, you are going to be using a knife, and so forth. And therefore, that is the reason why you also need to clean up the dishes. You need to prepare your meals because you will need to eat. So that means that when our children engage in daily chores, they learn to be responsible people. And we expect that even as they grow up, they will become responsible adults. They will be taking care of their own business without relying on somebody else. The other thing that makes the chores very important is that they learn how to prioritize. When you have to prepare a meal and you have to wash the utensils, then automatically you will need to decide what you are going to start with, and in that you learn to prioritize. You also learn to start where to start from. Like, for example, if you have to sweep a house or even mop the floor, then you have to learn where to start from, so that even in future, when you have more than one thing to do, then you will have an idea of where you can start from, and it will work. And so that means that the house chores are doing more than just for the child to do the work. They are learning more than just the process of doing the work. And then the other thing that is very important is that the house chores helps our children to learn how to plan out their time. And that's also important because, for example, like in this COVID-19 season, the children have a lot of time by themselves. Then one of the ways of properly using their time is doing chores, so that they don't engage in those devaluing activities. And we are saying that an idle mind is the workshop of the devil. If our children are not engaged throughout the day, then they will have the opportunity to engage in those devaluing activities, and you don't want that for your child. And so the chores help them to plan their time properly. Now, if you have more than one child, then the chores are also very good, because then they teach our children how to work as a team. They foster that team spirit, because they have to cooperate, they have to agree with one another who is going to be doing what. And you might find one child who is able to finish their chore earlier than the other, and because they want to go and play together, then they will help the other, and in that way they learn how to work together as a team. So in fact, in the process of doing their chores, they are also bonding, and that's something good for our families, even as we have talked about before, about the virtues and the values that we are teaching one another. And one of them is that one of helping one another and loving one another, so that we can be able to play together, and that's a good thing. And then the other thing that chores help and teach our children is good work ethics. When our children learn from an early age to do their chores, they develop a positive attitude towards work. They love to work, they love to do their chores. In fact, it gets to a point where, just like any other habit, they will begin to love to do the work. In fact, like I could say, they begin to become addicted. So you find a child who, loves to wash utensils, or another one who just loves to mop the floors or to do laundry. And when they have stayed without doing it, you hear them saying they have missed to do their job. So they have developed a positive attitude to work. And that's good for us as a family, and eventually even for the nation. It's a good thing when you have children or young adults or even adults who have a good work ethic. They have a positive attitude towards work. And so that's a good thing. And then the other thing that makes doing chores very important is that the children learn to appreciate the value of money and the value of things as they are working, as they are cleaning, and as you are sending them to the shop, as you are sending them to buy groceries and so forth. They begin to learn the value of money and the value of things, how to take care of things, so that you are not constantly replacing things which you had earlier bought, and so you are spending money on something which you had but you destroyed. They begin to learn that at an early age, and that's a very, very good thing. And so instead of waiting that when your child is going to become older is when you are going to begin to show them, how to let them do the chores, you need to start early. The earlier a child begins to do their chores, the more likely they are going to continue with that habit to teenage and even to young adulthood, and later on even to adulthood. But if you wait until they become, teenagers, and that's the time you want them to learn how to do cleaning or cooking, that will be a bit too late, because first of all, they will not be interested, and now you are going to have to force them, and already they are dealing with their teenage issues, and that is going to take a tall order on you. So it is good that you start early, and most experts agree that as soon as a child has learned how to walk and to communicate, it is time to begin to help them to become responsible over some little things. And you will realize, even if you look online for the age appropriate chores, you will realize that they normally begin at age of around 2, and most of them will end at around 12 years of age, meaning that by the time your child is 12 years old, they should have already learned everything that they needed to learn, so that actually they can be able to do most of the things that an adult can do. Meaning that you have a window of about 10 years from the time when your child is 2 years to when they are 12 to teach them these life skills for everyday life. That's what we are saying. And so make sure you don't wait until your child is much older. That's the time you are going to try to help them, or you are going to try to make them to do the chores. It will not work. And you will find that because you have taught them that they don't do anything, they will continue like that even to young adulthood. They are totally irresponsible. They don't want to do anything, and that will be, in short, it will be, you will have raised a child who thinks the world owes them and they have no responsibility, and basically they are going to be a burden to you and to society at large because they will not be independent. So let's purpose as parents, let's begin early to train our children how to do their respective chores. And next time I'm going to be discussing the age appropriate chores for each age, from age 2 all the way to age 12 and above. That's what I will be discussing next time, so that we all know what our children should be able to do at the respective age. Otherwise, for now, I would like to stop there and encourage you. Let us teach our children early to engage in chores, and let us have them doing their chores on a daily basis. I normally tell my children that, a saying I normally like to use on them, that if today you are a crocodile, today you are a gecko or a lizard, you will not become a crocodile overnight. Yeah, even if you are evolving, you will not evolve into a crocodile overnight. So you need to realize that that is a process. And processes take time. And that's why we are saying we have a window of 10 years to teach our children to grow and to change from a lizard or a gecko to a crocodile. Otherwise, don't expect them that when now they are already teenagers or young adults, they are going to mutate overnight into a crocodile. It is not going to work. So let us start early. We grow up with them. We teach them the right things at the right age. And next time, that's what we will be discussing. But for now, from me, it is bye-bye and God bless you. Thank you very much for watching.